Hello everyone, this is Chris with Sticker Fab. Right now it's 72 degrees with a high of 78, but the sun is really bright right now. That means everything in our vehicle is going to get heat soaked. Just like when you shut your doors and you come back in your car and it's so hot. That's basically what we want. We want the installation surfaces to be nice and warm, and we want our vinyl to be nice and warm. I like to install these between 75 and 85 degrees. If it was just a little bit colder than that, I would want this panel to be sitting in the sun. I would turn the vehicle around and make sure the sun was pointing directly at it, especially because this is what we call a low energy surface, and this is special vinyl for low energy surfaces. This is our normal vinyl. This is our normal vinyl because it's going onto a flat surface. We have a flat piece of acrylic back there, but this is textured. So you want to make sure this surface is as clean as you can get it. The reason why I tell you how to do these installs is because I've failed at installs. I failed on reinstalls where I just wanted to get pictures of a new color or a new pattern. And you know why? It's because I try to take shortcuts and I don't follow what I say. That's when I usually get in trouble. So that's why I have so many videos on different installations, because I get to live with these vinyls because we have these vehicles, and I get to see what happens when you install it a certain way. So when we installed this, it was a little bit cooler. I didn't clean it off, and you can see there's kind of bubbles right there. That can also be because the vinyl, I might have stretched it out as I installed it. So I might have pulled on this end too much. My hands are pretty clean. Make sure your hands are clean when you're playing with vinyl, because you'll ruin that adhesive. So what we want to do is give it a little slack, push down right there, and then push the rest of the vinyl down as well. So now it might not come all the way to the same place, but it's not stretched, so it's not trying to pull up in that crack. I'm going to show you one other thing. We do have these 3M sticks. Now, once you break this little thing, there's a little ball right here, all the fluid goes down into the sponge area. And after it goes into that area, chances are it's not gonna stay wet for very long. It will evaporate quickly. So you need to know where you're gonna apply this before you crack it. Then you pretty much go to that place, put it in that area, go to the other place on the other side, put it in that area, do whatever the installs you want at the time, put it in that area, but you have to kind of map everything out before that thing dries up. Since I have these printed out and they're a different design, I have nothing on the lower part of this Bronco. We have it on our Area 51. I'm gonna put these down. They are code orange lines. However, the map is Badlands. Now, I probably shouldn't let that sit in the sun or it will heat up and it will stretch and kind of be weird when I install it. But I've kind of cleaned this area off. You can see there's little hairs and stuff there. But in general, this panel is pretty clean. You should do a better job of cleaning it than I do. Don't clean it with anything that has wax in it. I know customers have immediately gone home and like, yeah, I'm gonna clean it. And then they put that wax on it, or they put some kind of Armor All-like product on there. That's not going to stick. It really doesn't stick at all. The only thing that's gonna stick to that is dust. So you really wanna clean it well. Clean it, clean it, clean it well. Install it in appropriate temperatures. My friends in the north, I used to live in the north. I've gotten products that use 3M adhesive backing. I've tried to stick them right on there in the middle of the cold. As soon as I got it, yeah, yippee, I got a new phone holder or something. I try to stick it to the dash. I compact all of that tape and then it doesn't stick. And then even when it gets warm, it won't stick again. So please watch these videos, do the installs the way I tell you. Let me show you how to install that bottom piece, even though I have another video on it, because if any of that comes up, I want to use that 3M stick on those locations as well. I only want to use one 3M stick. They cost a few bucks each, maybe $2 on our website. However, they can come in really handy. All right, so assumptions that we've made. It is 75 to 85 degree weather where you're at. Your hands are clean. This area is completely clean and void of any moisture and any residue. Then you get your overlay, you match up the pattern, this one right here, and then you take it. Like I said, hands very clean. All of this vinyl that we're using for these low energy surfaces You do not wet install these. These are not meant to be wet install at all. So kind of find the grooves right there and lay it down. If you're off, raise it back up, start over, and do it again. As my dad said, this is probably good enough for business work, or good enough for government work. That's what he used to say. And just smooth it out. Make sure that you're not crinkling it up at all. You want to get all that adhesive into those grooves. So go ahead, go around the border, push it down, and push it into all of those little crevices. Let's push up right in the middle and then towards the outside so it doesn't bunch up. Right in here. Kind of make our way to that corner. Push it out. Now let me go finish this install on the other side. I'll inspect it all, and then I'll figure out where to use that 3M pen. Over the next few trips, do this, check it out. Make sure it's not coming up. If it is coming up, put pressure in there. If you need more help, use a little bit of heat. Now, if it's cold, when you first install this and you're like, oh, well, maybe I can just go back and use a little bit of heat, you might be wrong. Because once you compress all of that adhesive, if it's too cold and it's not flowing right, it might not stick. That's why I say install this in 75 to 85 degree weather. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I installed this inside my heated garage. I have a friend that has like a 10,000 square foot home, and I've been there in the winter, and he only heats it to 68 degrees. He has a heated garage. I'm pretty sure that his heated garage is not 75 to 85 degrees either. I'm pretty sure the sunlight isn't getting in there and warming everything up beyond 75 to 85 degrees as well. You want to be in a warm environment. You don't want it to just get a little bit of flash of warm weather and think that it's gonna adhere. You can't go from 75 to 85 degree temperatures to 10 degrees and think that adhesive is going to do well over the next 72 hours. Now, the initial bonds of adhesive are built within the first 15 minutes and then like 3 to 4 hours. However, a large portion, up to like 50%, takes up to 72 hours to form. So you're really not doing yourself a service if you're not following the installation guidelines. All right, so it looks like my install of the bottom went pretty well on both sides. It's honestly probably like 74 degrees now. It got pretty warm. You wanna hear something funny that I've heard on an install? I've heard my left one worked, but my right one didn't. Well, your left side door panel is made out of the same material as your right side door panel. And this material, the way it was printed, it came out on a huge 50-yard roll, 20 inches wide and 50 yards long. So the left vinyl was printed maybe right here, and the right vinyl was printed just a little bit under it. So the consistency of these rolls and adhesive on the backside, it's really consistent. Pretty much everything is going to be exactly the same. The only thing it will come down to, the only factor, the only variable, is the installation prep work and the installation method and the environmental factors. What temperature was it? Was it humid? Was it this? Was it that? You just want to install it in the ideal conditions. Ideal conditions, we haven't talked about humidity too much. You don't want it to be super, super high humidity. So this primer pen, like I said, you'll hear a little ball in there. Give it a couple shakes, hit that. Here's the mic, actually, right here. Hear a crack. And then that fluid will go into that little sponge. Hold it with the sponge down. Now, where I was getting it coming up was right in this area. So I don't want to go above that surface, or you might see the residue. It would come off after a little while. But I'm going to use that pen right in this little crack area. Try not to get it on the marine grade vinyl on this little arm pad. So I've gotten it all in that area. I'm going to check out how far it goes over here to secure the tail end of it. I'll make sure I get some on that back side and on this leading edge as it rolls over that. All right, I'll put this to the side. I don't want this to get on anything. Now I'm going to finish my install again, or reinstall it, pressing firmly in this area. So I'm not going to really push this too hard over the edge. I don't want to stretch it and get into that same situation where I'm pulling the material too hard so it's coming up. Press down firmly. Remember, this is activated with heat and pressure. So this is the great stuff about this vinyl. It's pretty forgiving, and if the vinyl is still clean and the adhesive hasn't been flattened out because it was too cold when you initially installed it, you can fix certain mistakes. I don't know if I mentioned, but I probably didn't clean this off very well in the beginning. This vehicle has gone off-roading a couple times, not too recently, but it's been in some pretty dirty environments. The inside has a lot of sand, dust, dirt. There, 3M promoter should hold that down. Warm weather to assist us in our install. I'm actually shooting this at 3 p.m. and I did an initial video way before lunch, probably around 10 a.m. It is 79 degrees now. I just wanted to show you the little moment of truth as we discover it's been sitting here all day and we don't have that bubbling in that crease because I alleviated all that stress that was on that area that was pulling it away from there, and I used that 3M right there as well. Our bottom, which was a brand new install, looking good on this side. Let's go over to the other side, make sure that's down. Vehicle's been sitting in the same position all day. Definitely a little warm in there. Looks good as well. All of it is down the way it should be. We have generic code orange lines there, generic code orange lines there, and then we have our Badlands code orange lines right there. Door panel looks pretty well covered. We'll come out with some other stuff in time. A lot of that development is usually based on customer feedback. We also have the Topo clear door sills right there with the code orange lines because the paint behind it is code orange. Those are really simple, real easy for us to print out because we only print one color. We print black on clear, and then the clear lines just show your body paint. Whereas these, we have 3 different designs, and I think we have 19 options. So each time we come out with a new piece, there are 57 options for each product. So you order 2 products and there's actually 114 ways you can configure it. You start ordering more and the numbers just go up. So that's why it's taken us so long to print all these out. Pretty much everyone wants a different color and pattern. We print a few of each out at the same time, yet it's still gonna take a long time to get this. So basically you're getting a semi-customized product. You may not see another Bronco owner with that combination, even though there are a lot of orders. You might not see it for a very long time. So pick out what you want, be unique, be yourself. Please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit the bell notification icon for the latest, greatest things we're coming out with. I'm sorry I had to reiterate the same things over and over again, but I'm in Southwest Florida. It's really warm. However, I know what cold temperatures do to adhesives. I've lived in the North, and I just want you guys to love the products you purchase. Have a good day, everyone.